The wind gently swept across the stony paths of the Palatine Hill, and the calm waters of the Tiber River shimmered in the golden light of the sun. Here, the seeds of Rome's centuries-long dominion were about to be sown. It all began with a man rising from the ashes of a fallen city, destined to change the course of history, Aeneas. Legend has it that when the city of Troy fell, Aeneas, a hero protected by the gods, escaped its ruins. Alongside his father, his son, and a group of Trojans, he embarked on a journey across the Mediterranean that lasted years. After enduring countless adventures and struggles, Aeneas finally arrived in the region of Latium in Italy. There he was welcomed by King Latinus, who offered his daughter Lavinia in marriage. This union marked not only peace but also the beginning of a new lineage, one destined to shape the fate of Rome. Aeneas's descendants founded a city in Latium known as Alba Longa, considered the direct precursor of Rome. Generations later, the throne of Alba Longa passed to a king named Numitor. He and his brother Amulius were the sons of King Procas. Before his death, Procas decreed that one of his sons would inherit the kingdom. As the elder son, Numitor was the rightful heir. However, Amulius, driven by ambition, was unwilling to relinquish power to his brother. During Numitor's reign, Amulius staged a coup and overthrew him. In his ruthless quest for power, Amulius killed Numitor's male children, eliminating any future claims to the throne. This act was meant to ensure that Numitor's lineage would end, and that Amulius's control over the kingdom would remain unchallenged. But Amulius's schemes did not end there. He also forced Numitor's daughter Rhea to become a Vestal Virgin. Vestal Virgins were priestesses dedicated to the goddess Vesta, bound by sacred oaths of chastity. By doing so, Amulius believed he had sealed Numitor's fate by preventing Rhea from ever bearing children to continue the royal bloodline. Rhea, the daughter of the dethroned Numitor, was trapped by her fate. Amulius thought his plan foolproof, ensuring that no descendant of Numitor could rise against him. But fate and the gods had other plans. One day, as Rhea rested in a sacred grove, the god of war, Mars, became enamored with her beauty. According to legend, Mars visited Rhea and, rather than punishing her for violating her sacred duty, bestowed upon her a divine destiny. From their union were born twin sons, Romulus and Remus. When Amulius learned of the twins' birth, he was gripped with fear. He believed the twins were a fulfillment of a prophecy that foretold Numitor's lineage reclaiming the throne. To prevent this, Amulius ordered the immediate execution of the infants. Yet he hesitated to carry out the act himself. Instead, he commanded that the newborns be taken far from the palace and cast into the waters of the Tiber River. Obedient servants placed the twins in a basket and left them to the mercy of the river's currents. But fate intervened once again. The Tiber, swollen with floodwaters, did not drown the basket. Instead, it carried the twins gently to the shallows at the base of the Palatine Hill, where the basket became lodged in the roots of a tree. Miraculously, the infants survived. It was at this moment that legend took an even more extraordinary turn. A she-wolf, Lupa, said to be sent by the gods, discovered the crying infants. She nursed and protected them, ensuring their survival in the wild. Sometime later, the twins were found by a shepherd named Faustulus and his wife Acca Larentia. The couple adopted the boys, raising them as their own. Romulus and Remus grew up among shepherds in the hills, becoming known for their strength, bravery, and sense of justice. Faustulus, however, secretly knew the true identities of the twins. He had heard stories of the royal infants Amulius had sought to kill. He waited until the right moment to reveal their origins and the fate that awaited them. When Romulus and Remus learned of their lineage, they resolved to act. Gathering a band of followers from the local villagers, people like them who had suffered under Amulius's tyranny, they launched a daring rebellion. Together, they stormed Alba Longa, killed Amulius, and restored their grandfather Numitor to the throne. But their story did not end there. With justice served and their grandfather's reign restored, Romulus and Remus set their sights on a new dream, the creation of their own city. A city that would bear their name and follow their rules. A city destined to become the greatest in history, Rome. The choice of location for their city was critical. Romulus chose the Palatine Hill, overlooking the Tiber River, while Remus preferred the neighboring Aventine Hill. Disagreement arose between the twins over this choice. To resolve their conflict, they decided to seek guidance from the gods by observing the flight of birds. Romulus claimed to have seen more birds, declaring himself the winner. However, Remus refused to accept this result, and the tension between them escalated into violence. Romulus began building his city on the Palatine Hill. However, Remus mocked the construction of Romulus's walls and, in defiance, leapt over them. This act infuriated Romulus, who in a fit of rage killed his brother. According to legend, he declared, "Whoever dares to mock my walls will meet this fate." This tragic event became a central element of Rome's founding legend. Romulus mourned his brother's death but pressed forward, fulfilling the destiny that had been placed upon him. In 753 BC, Rome was established as a small settlement on the Palatine Hill. As Rome's first king, Romulus sought to expand and strengthen his fledgling city. Initially, the city was populated entirely by men, outcasts, fugitives, slaves, and those rejected by their own societies. Romulus declared Rome a city of refuge, where anyone could make a fresh start. This policy led to a rapid increase in population, but the city faced a critical issue: the lack of women. Without women, the continuation of the population and the establishment of a stable society were impossible. Romulus attempted to resolve this by requesting women from neighboring communities, particularly the Sabines. However, the Sabines rejected the request, viewing the Romans as a barbaric and unestablished group. They refused to marry their daughters to a city with no heritage or reputation. Faced with rejection, Romulus devised an alternative plan to secure women for his city. He invited neighboring peoples, including the Sabines, to a grand festival in honor of Neptune, one of Rome's protective gods. The festival was adorned with athletic competitions, feasts, and celebrations, creating an atmosphere of peace and goodwill. On the day of the festival, many groups, including the Sabines, gathered in Rome to join the festivities. However, the event was a carefully orchestrated trap. During the celebrations, the Roman men suddenly sprang into action, abducting the Sabine women and young girls from other tribes. The Sabine women were taken to Rome, where they were forced into marriage with Roman men. Though initially filled with fear and anger, the women were gradually persuaded by Romulus and their new husbands. Romulus promised them honor and a vital role in building Rome's future, and the women began to integrate into Roman society. When the Sabines discovered the abduction of their women, they were enraged and declared war on Rome. Under the leadership of King Titus Tatius, the Sabines marched to Rome and laid siege to the city. A fierce battle ensued, with the Sabines nearly overtaking Rome. However, the abducted Sabine women, who had by then become wives and mothers within Roman society, intervened. Standing between the two armies, they delivered an emotional plea to both sides. "If you continue this war, you will destroy both our fathers and our husbands. Do not force us to choose between the two. We are now a part of both your peoples. Lay down your arms and let peace prevail." Their appeal succeeded. The Sabines and Romans agreed to a truce, and the two groups united, with King Titus Tatius sharing power with Romulus. This union marked a turning point in Rome's early history, laying the foundations for its growth as a unified and inclusive society. Like his birth, Romulus's death was steeped in legend. The most widely accepted account tells of his ascension as the god Quirinus. One day, Romulus attended a ceremony with his people in the field of Mars, Campus Martius. Suddenly the sky darkened, a violent storm erupted, and strong winds and rain obscured everyone's vision. Amid the chaos, Romulus vanished. When the storm subsided, he was nowhere to be found. The Romans interpreted this event as a divine intervention. They believed that Romulus had been taken by the gods and transformed into Quirinus, a divine protector of Rome. According to the legend, Mars, Romulus's father, had brought him to the heavens, affirming his place as a deity and ensuring his eternal role as a guardian of the city he founded. Thus, Romulus's life came full circle, from mortal hero to divine protector, cementing his legacy as the eternal symbol of Rome's divine destiny. In this video, we have shared the epic foundation of Rome with you. To support our channel and see the continuation of the series, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment. For more content, make sure to subscribe to our channel.